If you want to learn how to win your Pokemon Unite matches without needing to go to Rayquaza, then you need to watch this video from start to finish. Have a look at pushing the Regieleki into the enemy base goal. We're already in the lead and we're able to get a massive amount of score in the enemy base. Guys, this doesn't just happen. You have to play strategically to put yourself in this position at a 2-minute mark. So stick around to the end and we'll talk through from start to finish how we're supposed to get there. First things first, generally it's a good idea. In order for this to be successful, you need a good tank to front line for the team, leading this in. Now, in my particular game, I think Slowbro is fantastic for doing this, and Slowbro is just a fantastic S+ tier pick in general. So when you're doing your laning phase, right, we're going to talk over some general stuff here. You need to make sure that your team has the lead, but most importantly, you've got to make sure that you're defending your goal zone, right? Because if the enemy breaks your tier 1, you're not going to be able to do this. You've got to make sure you've got a healthy tier 1 and you've got full control over the top lane. That's thing number 1. If you lose your top lane, it's completely done. Now, remember the priority of when you're in the lane. It's first things first, secure the farm. Second thing, try and get some score or stop the enemy from getting their score in. And thirdly is fighting. You can see we've still got a lot of farm here on the map. My job, I probably should have tried to get that water gun for the secure, but I'm trying to push them back so we can take all the farm and get our Decidueye to get his stacks in. I personally like going Surf and Amnesia on Slowbro just because it's a tankier and it provides more CC to the enemy. Right, Scald will give you more damage, Scald does more debuffing, but also in this matchup, the enemy is using a lot of special attackers, in which case Scald does a debuff on the enemy's attack stat, and if they're not using attackers, they're using special attackers, then it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because the crowd control you get with Surf is far more valuable in my opinion. Right, now, you've got Surf in this laning phase. You've done pretty well. Surf is so good for defending the goal zone. Right, so good. You can see there, Gengar here he's kind of overcommitting to try and get his stacks in, right? Because I'm assuming he's trying to get a special attack stat up. That's a big mistake because he's died and given our lane a lot of experience. So he's given me and the Pikachu a whole lot of experience just for him to get like 16 special attack stat or whatever it is. And I can see my Mimikyu's invading, so we're going to punish this even more. Right, I'm going in to support him because I can see it's a 2v1, so why not make it a 2v2 and that we're going to be successful. And that's exactly what happens. So the Mimikyu goes in, the Mimikyu's got very strong matchups, and now we're in a position where I can base and probably consider heading to the top lane or to the bottom lane depending on what we're prioritizing. Typically, I think it's a good idea to go to your bottom lane because you've won that top lane. Now, this is the only time it's going to fall down. If the enemy choose to prioritize staying top and getting their score top, you're not going to be able to get this strategy off. However, generally in a normal match, this is not going to happen, and even if you've kept the goal on 80, the enemy's not going to have enough points to start there and break it with just one of them. So in this scenario, right, our team's got a good overcap here, right? We've got an overcap of 32 points, which is absolutely fantastic, and we've broken their enemy tier 1 in the bottom goal zone, and we've got a free objective. Right, our Decidueye is going down to Rip. I'm looking to zone the enemy to make sure that they don't go in and secure this bottom objective because that's going to be your role as a tank. Okay, you doing a little bit of damage to this objective is kind of valuable, but you providing vision to make sure that the enemy don't steal that objective is super valuable. Okay, there's a reason why I've gone up near our pad. It's because we had vision on them coming down through their bottom lane. So I just need to make sure they weren't coming through the middle of the map to try and get that steal. And then you can see our whole team rotates top. Now, typically, your bottom lane defender, or probably me, should be staying bottom to try and make sure they don't get any catch-up scoring down in the bottom lane, right? You want to keep someone defending your goal zone because remember, for every point that you don't let the enemy score is essentially you scoring points. However, we see that we've got some vision on the enemy down in the bottom lane trying to get some score in. So we get some big scores here, right? We get a big overcap by about 34 points there, which is fantastic. And now we're in a position. Guys, in order for this strategy to be successful, you need to break their second tier or at least get it down to about 10 points for the 5-minute mark. So this is when you can see it come online. If you are steamrolling ahead and you get this Reggie, right, the enemy lets you get it, you can push it through. Our team has Unite moves, the enemy team does not. And so I'm looking to use my Unite move if I'm under much of a threat. Right, I use my Unite move because I know I'm going to get some score here to help me recharge that Unite move there. And you can have a look, we've pretty much fully broken. We're only going to get a little bit of an overcap, but the overcap doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is we have fully broken their first base, right? The whole top lane is completely broken. That means the next Reggie is going to walk into their base. However, we'll just do some quick timing here. We secured the top objective at 6 minutes. It's got a 2 minute respawn time, which means the next one's going to spawn at 4 minutes. And if we complete that Reggie straight away, we're not going to get a last one prior to the Rayquaza. So this is the strategy here. You're going to see this Reggie's going to spawn soon, right? Now, in the meantime, you can try and defend your bottom goal zone and secure farm. Okay, that's pretty much what you're trying to do. Our team is honestly quite responsive in coming down here. Okay, our Pikachu comes down with a massive Unite move and does a big cleanup, right? The enemy get their score in, but we get a lot of experience for our Pikachu there in order for him to get that experience by killing them. And we also get the bottom objective as well. So we're in a fantastic position. We've got control over the entire map because we've wiped them. And that's the trade-off that they've made to try and get some score in. Because they're very, very behind on score, and it's honestly not that bad of a play if they had have been able to, maybe get 1 or 2 out of life. But we've got complete control over the map. Now we've got 4 minutes remaining. This Regieleki is going to spawn, and this is the final Regieleki. And this is what people need to understand. This is the final Regieleki that's going to be on the map, because if we complete it, and then it's not going to respawn because the respawn timer gets cut off by the Rayquaza. So this is what our team actually understands. And I'm on the in-game microphone in this game going, guys, don't touch the objective, just hold the top lane. We're going to do this objective in about a minute, right? And that's what I'm telling them. I'm in-game microphone saying, guys, hold, easy, easy, just defend the pad, defend the pad. We don't need to defend the bottom lane, just secure a bit of farm, and we're holding this lane, right? We're not letting them score their points, because if they completely break our pad here, then we're not going to be in a position to do this. We need to have complete control over top lane. Right, so this is what we're doing. We're just playing it slow, playing it safe. We're hiding our time, right? Time is of the essence here. Okay, all I'm trying to do is playing safe, going back on pad. Enemy overcommits because they're getting frustrated. They need to get some score in. And so pretty much if you're the enemy team, right, and you're actually trying to stop this, what you need to do on the enemy team is just hard rip the Regieleki. That's the way that you stop this strategy from working. If you're ever up against people who are trying to make it work, the way that you stop this, and you'll see this teams do it competitively, if you're in a losing position, you have to get this Reggie off the map as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if you lose it, but if you lose it now, you've got time to defend it. Versus now, it's about the 2 minute 45 mark, and I'm like, all right, guys, easy, easy. If anyone comes in, we try and kill them. Lapras comes in, everyone stops attacking, everyone kills the Lapras. So it's very coordinated, and you might think, oh man, my solo queue teammates are never as good as this. Well, maybe you need to hop in the in-game microphone and make some shot calls, because people genuinely listen. So now I've got 30 seconds is a pretty good sweet spot to try and walk this objective in. And as you can see, our whole team's walking together, and I'm going, guys, we're walking this to the base. Come on, we can do it together. I'm leading the way. I'm tanking the hits at Slowbro, and I'm fortunate enough to have an Eldegoss giving me some healing along with the Amnesia healing. I've also got my Unite move, and I'm absolutely going to be using that on someone who's going to be able to deal a lot of damage to our team. I thought the Gengar gets himself out of position. We launch that Unite move off, and then here come the big scores. Guys, by the time this has gone in and everyone's got their score in, it does not matter. We are so far ahead that it does not matter what happens from this point for the remainder of the game. And you're going to see this, right? Spoiler, we actually lose the Rayquaza and the enemy get a whole lot of scoring. But this just goes to show, if you make this play, this game is 100% over. You've got the score lead and you've also walked it in. Right, look at this. We've got 3 enemies dead. If you're playing this at this point, the enemy need to rip the Rayquaza, and your team, if you're on my team, all you're doing is just you're focusing on killing the enemies. And that's what I'm calling out in game, right? I'm saying, hey, thanks, guys. And then someone on my team says, thanks, we were actually cool, right? And then I'm calling out, I'm going, guys, all we need to do is kill the enemy. Just kill the enemy. Who cares if they get the Rayquaza? If we get 1 kill, that stops 100 score going in. And they, by numbers, they cannot win the game. They cannot win the game. So all I'm trying to do, they've got that objective, whatever, right? We're just trying to break some shields there. And you can see we've already broken the Gengar shield. So we're going to be able to stop him from scoring, right? Which means that they're probably only max 400 points, right? We're just going to continue to break some shields. Just continuing to break them. So I'm panning over, I'm seeing my team. Look at how much score they're getting in, right? They've got 148 in the bot lane. They got like 100 and something in the top lane. But they don't have any money. They don't have any money. And they're even getting some kills and even getting some extra scoring, right? They've got a whole bunch in. But have a look. The people with shields have ran out of all of the AOS energy and they're not going to be able to get it in, right? So they've broken everything with double score, broken all our pads with double score, with the objective, right? With the objective, and I'm still like, guys, good win. We're chilling. I know that we've won, and we've also got a tier one active, right? Now the Mammoth Simon goes to get an 80 in here, right? But I've stopped him with the Slowbro Unite and then surfed him, and you can tell he's just so annoyed about that because obviously you don't know what the score is in real time in the game, right? You don't know what it is, but honestly, it would have been an even bigger flex play. Just let him walk in because we had that much of a score lead, right? We probably had about 150 score lead going into the objective, and then we put, close to 400 score in to their base, right? Look at how much score they put in at the end. We still get a win of like 200 points. I'm saying thank you to everyone. Guys, you can do this in your matches if you treat people respectively and you understand how to make this play and how to communicate it. So, guys, give it a try. Good luck. Play tank, do well, and try and utilize this strategy in your solo queue lobbies. Best of luck with it.